cognitive and developmental disabilities makes a huge demand on your time, your energy, your mental health. So I'm glad that we've been a good place for you to be, and for you to know that you're not alone, that there are other people out there, to connect with, and who see and witness you shiny and chrome on the Fury Road. You said you were 3.5, you loser. Like I said, I was being generous. Bestie and I pretty much describe each other as platonic soulmates. I know. It sounds like a joke when I say my socks and soulmatey, but honestly, it's true. I do feel that way. Coming from another chronic, I'm barely a 3 believer, know that I see you, egg. But in doing so, I also know you are not a 3.5, period. Thank you, Mr. Inhumane. I think we can agree that we're all our worst critics, right? Because I would say the same thing to you, Cam, I have also been feeling left out or forgotten. You're a bad bitch, and I really admire you. Let's make good on our VC hang really soon. Fuck yes. I never had a strong desire to have a partner, but I've always had a strong desire to have good IRL friends that I can hang out with in my adult life. I want a friend I can go get coffee or run errands with. Yes, I know. It's really tough, Sarah. Listen, I struggle, even because, a lot of, pretty much all of my friends live about at least an hour away, right? Which means 2 hours round trip. So, it's tough, right? Of course, you're right. I also am lucky in that my bestie is live-in. One of my besties is live-in. But, it is hard. Really and truly. Thank you. Yes. This is one of the reasons I hate the phrase emotional affair, because people use it to describe any sort of close connection with another person outside their partner, not just crushing. Yeah. No, it is so true, Billy, where I think that, I had a dude at work try and tell my husband that I went to lunch, because I would go to lunch with Mark pretty much every day that I could. But on days that I couldn't go to lunch with Mark, sometimes I would go with Mark and I's shared office spouse, who happened to be a cis gay man, a very flamboyant cis gay man. And one of the straight dudes in the office literally came up to Mark and was like, just so you know, your spouse goes out to lunch with so-and-so a whole bunch. Mark's like, yeah, usually the 3 of us go together, but sometimes they go with him, when I can't go. But it was so fucking funny. I'm just like, bro, for real? So weird. Also, shut the fuck up. You're hot as fuck too. I know, literally. You scared? No, that's not what I meant to say. You scored a super babely younger woman. I mean, come on. Side note, living in Florida, surrounded by beautiful people all the time, makes you feel awful when you're not the societal archetype. I hear you, Cam. I mean, I say the same thing about where I live, It sucks when you have poor perception of yourself, right? You and I, we're our own worst enemy in that regard. You know what I mean? I'm a kidnapped bestie if she decides to move back to France. Listen, Cece, that's well warranted. It's going to get really Stockholm in here. I can't imagine, there is cheese over there, but otherwise I feel like it's a pretty good deal where she's at. Kristen, your presence at my rebooted streams has meant so much to me. Thank you for that. I'd love to support you too. All the cuties. Your stream is fun and I'm not afraid of bread, so it's a great time. Listen, I haven't even intentionally been avoiding the bread streams. I just have, aside from the stream that I was actually able to make it to for a while, things have been so fucky wucky. But Sinful Sundays truly were one of my favorite stream experiences of time. Or there are times when you witness an emotional affair, and that's part of the reason you got blacklisted from a Twitchiverse. I know. Listen, Cam. And hold on. Mr. I, respectfully, you have great appeal. Looks aren't the only thing that raise the number of BTW, and you've got a lot of great points. Yes, this is true. My husband, my husband had who he called a work wife for several years, and people asked me if I was jealous. No, why? I trust my partner. He comes home to me. If someone fills his Sims social bars besides me, that's not bad. Agreed. Well, the funny thing is, I think for Mark and I, like, this will surprise, I'm sure, nobody. But when I first started dating Mark, I had a lot of trouble with the fact that ex-boyfriends of mine were very insecure about the fact that 90% of my close friends were men. And Mark had the opposite problem where he had, almost exclusively close female friends. And then neither of us were particularly bothered. Now, mind you, one of Mark's oldest childhood friends is now one of my besties. But also I was terrible where girls who he went to school with, who were not his long-standing good friends, because I had been cheated on by the last